Let me show you how easy it is to create a new mountain. From your workspace where you are an owner or an admin, you just click this button called Add New Mountain. And there's a simple wizard of a few steps. First of all, you need to give your mountain a name. We'll just do a simple one, test, and perhaps describe what your mountain is about. Now, it might be a course or it might be a challenge that you've got. Um, I'll just put in test again. And you can change all this information at a later stage. You then need to pick the dates your mountain is going to be running for. It will default to today's date and 3 months later. Now you can change these dates very easily. So you could change this one starting tomorrow, perhaps, or leave it at today. You can then choose perhaps to have a much shorter mountain, maybe one that's going to last 1 month. And you can choose the time of the day as well it ends. Having done that, click the next button, and you can change all of this information later. I keep reminding you. The next question is a little bit about setup. How many teams we play in this game? It could be anything from 1 to probably not more than 10 at the very most. Once you've got more than 10 in a game, it gets very crowded on the mountain. You might want to set up 2 mountains and duplicate them and have two different groups if you've got lots of teams. For this demo, I'll just set up 1 team. And how many milestones are you planning to have? Now, again, you can add milestones, take milestones away later. But to start with, we'll just leave us at 2. But typically, a milestone might have 4, 5, 6, 7 milestones even. At the end of each milestone, there's a deadline. And you may want these deadlines to fall on a particular day of the week. So this is a quick way of making sure it sets up the right dates for you. Otherwise, it will just spread them evenly over the course of the duration you previously set up on the last screen. So I've chosen Fridays here. Then the next step is to just talk about reflection points. Now, one of the main benefits of Savvy Goat is to understand how your team is doing, and these reflection points are the mechanism which we use to look at how the team's dynamics are developing. And you can have a number of different reflection points throughout the game. We start with 4 because we tend to follow the Tuffman phases for the type of questions we're asking. But you could have 6 or 8, and you can always add more, as many as you like, or as few as you like at a later stage. We'll leave us at 4 for now. The next step in the wizard is to determine how many points you're going to need to deploy in the mountain. Now, this is useful if you're playing against teams in a competitive way, but it may not be relevant if you're on your own or if there's a non-competitive scenario. If it is non-competitive, you can simply disable points and they won't be used in the game at all. However, if you are going to use points, there are a number of different types of places you'll use points. The first is for the reflection points. Now, we set up 4 reflection points. So if you're doing 500 points for each one, that would be 2,000 points across the game. If you depending on the number of milestones you've got, each milestone is set up automatically to begin with a number of tasks that you're going to set up. And we default to 2 tasks per milestone, so that's 4 tasks. And if you put 1,500 points there, or if you say, let's have that up to 2,000 points, then it'll be 500 points a task. Or if you want to go down to 1,000 points, simply change that and it will just change the number of points per task. And again, if your tasks are different values, you can edit them individually when you come to the when you've set up the basic game. At the end of each milestone, the team also gets a review process which looks at all the team's activities. So not just their journey objectives, their journey statements we call them, their planning, the additional tasks the teams create, and that can be worth a number of points as well. And typically, so it's about, we're suggesting 1,500 points in this example here, but across the whole game, you might want to think about what the ratio is between tasks that you've set and tasks that they created themselves in their own management. So perhaps this is a bit higher, maybe this is only 1,000 as well. So you're giving them 1,000 points. That's 500 points for each milestone, and 250 points for each task. So they're very balanced. Once you've decided on your ratio and points, etc., click next. Final step is just to pick the theme of the game. You have 4 themes you can choose from. This is the basic Alpine one, which is the default. But if you like an African feel, or a North American feel, or a Japanese feel, please feel free to switch those around. Then finish that, and all of a sudden your test mountain is then created here.